welcome to Thinking Rich podcast. And in today's session, we have with us CA Fardeen. So Fardeen hails from Nagpur and he's now currently working in one of the big fours and he's making a switch very recently. So we are here to hear about how did he get into the big four after doing his articleship from Nagpur, then getting into the big four, and then now planning to switch the roles. So we're going to cover all of that in this podcast, and we keep bringing these stories for you all ताकि आप लोगों को इंस्पिरेशन मिले. जिन लोगों ने अपने ड्रीम्स पूरे करे उनसे उनकी स्टोरी से इंस्पायर होना एक डेफिनेटली अलग फीलिंग होती है. So that's why we present Fardeen's story here today. Welcome Fardeen. Thank you so much for doing this first of all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to share my journey.
So Fardeen, let's start from the beginning. How did CA happen to Fardeen?
Actually, when I was in my class 10th, then only almost like 3 to 4 months before my boards, I was a bit confused regarding what to choose as my career. So there were career workshops which were held in my school. So one of the career workshops was relating to this only commerce field, as in how people, even after scoring like 90% and above in class 10th, are pursuing commerce stream. And I was someone not very keen. I didn't have a keen interest in science. So I actually thought to pursue commerce only, but then also I had a confusion regarding which course to opt, like CA, MBA, or some other courses. So that time I had got to know about the CA course, that it has a huge respect in the market. The cost involved in during the course is very low, although the duration is a bit big, and sometimes people do end up giving a lot of attempts, that the passing percentage is also very low. But I had a keen interest in commerce, and I thought that maybe if I could give it a try, I can succeed in it.
Definitely. So how was your CA journey? Was it a little rocky or was it pretty smooth?
Like I cleared my CPT in the first attempt. Like I scored 153 out of 200. Like I cleared it with distinction. So that was in the first attempt. IPCC Group 1 also I cleared in the first attempt. Just IPCC Group 2 I took more attempts. So like 2 attempts more. But it was pretty, not I would say very like rocky, because the thing is I just took a year more as compared to the candidates who cleared all the levels in first attempt, because my original attempt was in May 2020. Like it was my first attempt, but due to COVID, that attempt got cancelled and it shifted to November 2020. So I don't think it was very like a difficult phase. Yeah, that time preparing for the exams again was a bit difficult, and especially managing studies along with my articleship, especially after my group 2 got cleared a bit late. So managing two subjects a day, like morning evening coaching along with the articleship, was a bit difficult. In 2019 year was actually very difficult for me. So yeah, it was. And mostly the exams got postponed almost 4 times, so that made a little more worse as compared to my original attempt. But yeah, it was okay only.
Right. So after you qualified, you had done your articleship from a mid-sized firm, right?
Right.
First of all, like, how did you gather that confidence that I will be able to do job in Big Four? Because what happens is the common notion that I've heard from people who come from mid-size or small-size firm, they're like, यार हमें बिग फोर में कैसे मिलेगा, मेरे पास तो एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं है, मेरे पास तो वो एक्सपोजर ही नहीं है, आई डोंट नो if I'll be able to clear the interview or not. So how did you overcome these preconceived notions, and what did you do to prepare for the interview?
So basically, yeah, like while I was in my CA, like my CA final, while I was a CA final student, like before clearing only, I had a goal in mind that I wanted to work for Big Fours. So yeah, post qualification, I did have this doubt that I have cleared in third attempt, so maybe I won't be able to make it to Big Fours. But I have seen that right now, I mean, even people who have joined after me also, they are looking for more skill oriented, and what they are actually seeing your knowledge. I do agree that attempts do matter, but I think it's not that if you are able to give the confidence to the interviewer that no, you can do like what you have learned during your CA journey, you can actually apply it, and you can give him that you have confidence. So I think that won't be a big problem. Yeah, attempts barrier is always there, but I think it also more depends on the interview, because initially I also thought that it would be very difficult for me to get into Big Fours
Mm-hmm.
after having attempts. But I just prepared after, even in the technical round also. So I also had this concern that how would I actually prepare for the interview. So I had seen lectures on YouTube, like how to prepare for the interview. I had researched on Google, spoke to my seniors regarding on this, and I had mostly prepared like what questions are being asked, and I had actually prepared. But when I had given the interview, now I had realized that it is not that the questions which were like they can ask you anything related to your. I still remember when I had given my PwC interview, like two or three questions were what I had studied in my IPCC, not even in CA final. So I just got to know that uh, we can prepare more on the what we have presented in our resume. We need to be thorough with it,
Hmm.
and also the articleship experience. We need to like explain them, like what all areas we have done, what all
Hmm.
clients we are. If we can give them confidence, then they will definitely select us.
Right. So if I talk about the rounds of interview, I mean, it's been a year, but it'll be hard to recall, but can you try to recall what all rounds you had to go through in terms of interview? And then we can talk about what kind of questions, I mean, the technical questions that were asked, so that people who are watching this video, they can gain an idea that, okay, these are the kind of topics that I should cover for my interview, and this is how I can prepare for my interview.
Yeah, I do remember, like initially, um, what I had done was I had applied on the career website, like PwC career website, and that time actually a mass hiring was going on, like it was a hiring drive. So I had applied. I had just applied randomly. I saw that there was a vacancy in statutory audit. Then after that, I got a call that uh, you have been shortlisted for the HR round. So first round was the HR round. So that time also it was not that only I was like called for the interview, like all over India, how many people who have got shortlisted for the HR round, all were being called at the same time only. And after sometime everyone's name were announced, and they were given a link on which we had to click, and then we had to proceed for the interview. There also in the HR round, the panel who was taking the interview, like there were around 4 to 5 people in the meeting room. So individually he was asking questions to us, like what um, where are you from, what has been your experience, why do you want to get into Big Fours, and basically individually he was asking to him, and he was actually checking on the confidence and whether we are actually eligible for this role also. Because I think when I had got ahead that time, there was a condition that only up to 3 attempts people only they were taking.
Hmm.
So yeah, they were basically checking the eligibility and
Hmm.
confidence.
Right. And from technical question standpoint, like what all one should prepare if they're preparing for the technical round, like if you could talk a little bit about the topics that they can cover.
In the technical round, basically what I had prepared was all the standards on mostly the SA 700 series. And I think Indian accounting standards, they are right now putting a lot of emphasis on, because
Hmm.
even in PwC and mostly what I am aware is Big Fours mostly have India's clients a lot more as compared to accounting
Hmm.
standard clients. So they expect us to know the technical aspects very well of each accounting. Mostly India, like important India's like India's 115 revenue, India's 116 leases. They mostly ask questions on this also. But I think just preparing these two Indias would be a bit risky, because what I have seen is they are also sometimes they also ask about deferred tax. They can ask anything.
Hmm.
So I think we need to be very like on Indias, we need to have a good grip. And other than that, I think Caro 2020, they I think is a hot topic nowadays for the interview.
Hmm.
Besides that, what recent changes in Schedule 3, or I think recent changes in Schedule 3 also they sometimes ask. And mostly what I have observed is these things are only asked in the interview.
Hmm.
And yeah, mostly technical aspects I mostly. And yeah, one more thing, that in the articleship, in your articleship, like, did you face any difficulties? Did you have a conflict, or they will give you a case study? How would you find a solution to this problem?
Hmm.
So they can ask all this in the technical round.
That's right. So was there a point in your interview where you felt like, "Okay, I'm not getting selected"? Like, did you fumble, or were there any questions that you could not answer?
Yeah, there were questions like honestly, I wasn't sure that after giving the interview I would get selected because some questions, yeah, I was not able to answer. Like mostly like the one which I told earlier, like some questions were asked from my IPCC curriculum, so that I was
Hmm.
not able to recollect during that time. So yeah, that there were a few questions on that, but mostly in days and all I had actually prepared, and what I had written in my resume, I was thorough with it. So those questions I could answer. Only that IPCC curriculum I could not recollect at that time.
Hmm. So now that it's been a year with the PwC, I mean, not just like I want you to restrict to your answer PwC wise, but like in general, how's the working environment, and are you liking? Is it exciting after clearing CA and then handling on the clients? It's been a year, so could you share your experience of working with one of the big fours?
Yeah, the working culture in PwC is really good. The exposure which we got, the clients and all which we have, they are really good. We really get to learn a lot of new stuff in each client. So learning wise, it has been really good. Yeah, in the busy season, the workload is really hectic, but I think exposure wise, PwC has been really good. They have a lot of listed clients, and also in the year end also people are being offered secondments also where we get to work on outside clients also. So learning wise, it has been very good, and work culture also I found good only.
So many times people who are starting with their articleship, they have this doubt. Travel करने को कितना मिलता है? Because you know some people are like, I'd like to travel a lot. So start audit की profile में, do you get traveling opportunities often, or is it optional for you to take up those opportunities or not?
No, in start audit also there is a lot of traveling. Yeah, because uh, as far as I remember, the clients which I had were like one of the clients, it was almost like every day or 4 to 5 hours would go in, like going and coming almost would take 4 to 5 hours. I mean, it depends on which client you have been allotted. Many a times we are able to, like the client place is near in the same city, or
Hmm.
we can do the work from office only. But sometimes, yeah, traveling and all is a lot of traveling is involved, especially in the year end when stock counts and all are held. That time we are actually sometimes we are sent to outside locations, some different cities also. So traveling is a lot of traveling is involved in start audit.
Right. So this brings us to the end of the podcast, Fardeen. Any important lessons that you'd like to share with fellow CAs or people who are, freshly going to qualify CA? How should they go about their journey in the workforce? How should they prepare for the opportunities? Any important learnings, lessons that you'd like to share?
Uh, Basically, I think I just want to share that you just need to put in your 100%. And I think if someone is getting an opportunity to work in Big Four, not just start audit, any of the profile, he should not leave it, because the exposure and learning which we get in Big Four is don't think that same learning we can get in industry or any other thing.
Hmm.
And also, if someone has even took attempts, I don't think he should. At least give it a try in case he is looking for Big Fours, because you never know if you got shortlisted, your resume got shortlisted for the interview, and you are able to convince the interviewer that you have the knowledge and skills in you which is actually needed for the company. They would be able to and there is a very high chance that you would get selected. I mean, we should not judge ourselves just by attempts. We, in the long run, actually post qualification also I've noticed that it's only the skills and the knowledge which we have matter, at least in the corporates.
Right. So Fardeen is also one of our students of Audit Masterclass. So Fardeen, how was the experience of Audit Masterclass, and would you recommend it to other students like articleship level pay or for qualified level pay be?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend. In fact, I actually regret that I should have taken this masterclass a year back, so I could have in because in the initial phase I was facing difficulty in PwC. So had I taken the masterclass, I could actually relate that I have learned this. Now I'm able to apply this here also. But I think it is very much it is actually what has, the what we have been taught in class. It is actually same as what we perform in the Big Fours. And if you are already having a grip on it, you have actually performed like the way sir has taught us how to work on the work papers and the audit procedures. So if you take this class and you have done it properly, I think you will be ahead of the other candidates who have done their articleship from a mid-sized firm and just joined Big Fours, because you will be able to have your work would be much better as compared to those other people. And I would highly recommend that everyone should take this class.
Thank you so much, Fardeen. That's so sweet of you. And all the best. You'll be starting your new job very soon in one of the other Big Fours. So all the best for your journey. And I wish that, you keep climbing the hierarchy, the management hierarchy, and keep dreaming big and achieving those goals.
And thank you so much.